Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, it's wonderful to have you here. Thank you so much for joining me. I know there are a lot of you out there that know how to do this, but I'm going to be installing this full overlay 105-degree hinge, and it comes with some instructions. So I'm going to be showing you how I do it. So from the edge, I'm just using leftover bits of wood to make and convert a new cupboard. So from the edge of your piece of wood that you're going to be drilling your hole into, you need to mark in 4 millimeters. Now for myself personally, my tape measure is a little bit difficult to see exactly where 4 millimeters is on the tape measure because of this clip. So what I do is I put it onto the 2 centimeter mark and then mark in 4 millimeters from there, which I've done. And I've just drawn a line all the way up so that it's the same on the door. I've drawn another line. I've gone in by 4 centimeters because I'm using my drill press, and when you put the drill press down, you can see it touches both lines. And when you line your hinge up, it's sitting on both the lines, so that gives you a better positioning for where you're actually going to be putting your hinges so that they're not off by too much. So I'm just going to drill those holes, and you need to have this special drill bit, which is called a drill boring bit. Please wear the appropriate safety gear when you're working with wood. And I've marked the exact point where the bit is going to be going in. So that little hole there is where that point is going to be going in. And from that point, I've drawn a straight line, 90-degree straight line, further back so that I can measure the distance from there to there. And this particular one I've put in at 11 centimeters. So when you put your connecting piece, which is the one that goes into your hinge, which is connected to the side of the cupboard. Now when you put this piece in, you must make sure that you're actually lining up those 2 little holes, those 2 little pieces over there. So when you put it in, you've got to rotate it, and then you slide that piece in, and then just press this down, and it's connected. So it makes it easy to attach this piece to the side cupboard first, and then you attach your door by just clipping that in. And to release the cupboard, you just press the button, and this will just pops out. This particular boring bit that I'm using goes to the exact depth of my hinge, which is 12 millimeters. So I'm going to drill it so that this part here lies flush with the wood. So as you can see, it's lying completely flat, and now we're just going to mark where to drill the holes to put this in. So we've got our line all straight, and then we just set it and drill, and then do the other side exactly the same. Now that we've got a hole drilled for the hinge, I've drilled pilot holes for the screws to go in, and now we can just screw that all together. To attach the piece to the inside of the cupboard, make sure that you're putting it in the right directions, that you've got the little holes lining up with these little holes lining up with your hinge. I've gone in by 37 millimeters and lining that up like that, and then you're going to drill. As you can see, they all line up. I've also gone the extra step and marked it at 2 centimeters in to line this end piece up. just to get it straight. When you screw your support onto the frame, don't screw it in all the way, so that you've got a bit of movement like that, so that you can line your doors up properly. But these ones have also got the height and width adjusters on them as well, which I'll be showing you later. When you're putting your cupboard in to line it up, make sure you've got a small little piece of wood underneath that you want the height of your door to be, and balance the door on top of that, so that when you open your cupboard to tighten the hinges, these side ones here, you've got your cupboard door open and you've got your piece of wood underneath the door holding it up to the height that you need it. So then it makes it much easier to just tighten those screws, because as you can see just over here, there's a 2mm or so gap that the door could fold down, so that the door can be lowered or made higher. So you want to keep your door in exactly the same position once it's open as when it's going to be closed. So put that little piece of wood, it makes it so much easier when you're installing these hinges. To snap your hinges into place, you must open the door so that you can line these little hooks up with the front and those little holes with those little notches, and then just squash it down and it'll engage. So I've got them both squashed down, and now we're just going to check the cupboard. Once you're happy with the cupboard, then you can tighten these side screws here. So I'm pretty happy with the way that's sitting, so I'm just going to tighten those screws. It doesn't need any adjusting. I've just removed my piece of wood, and as you can see, the door is now sitting just above the floor, so it's not going to scrape the floor. As it's standing at the moment, I'm very happy with the gaps. So we've got, I don't know if you can see, there's just a small gap on the side here, and the door opens rather nicely. So I'm very happy with that. And now I'll just put a door handle on there. As I said, when you are working with changing the door, whether you want it to go in or out, these screws here are the ones that you have to play with. So one will make it go either in or out, left or right. So just play with them so that your door fits perfect when you close it, and the gap is all the same all the way down. So that's my door completed. If you found this video helpful or you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Really appreciate it if you would subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.